Kumar Sangakkara's 192 against Australia is the best innings by any subcontinent batsman which I personally have seen in Australia. And in this video we're going to look at what made it so great, not just watch it and talk it through, but what was it that made it so much better than any other innings. But before we do that, first let's watch a cracking shot. There we go. Got Mitchell Johnson steaming in. Gorgeous. Look at that. That's a classic cover drive if there ever was one. Okay, let's pause that. So there's something else. So let's kind of go over what makes it so great. I've got to go to here. Okay, so here's the scenario. Sri Lanka are chasing 507 to win, obviously in the fourth innings in Australia. I mean, it's hard enough for any team in any situation, let alone a subcontinent team, whose pitches are completely different to what they're going to be used to in Australia against a high quality attack. Sangakkara, by the way, did not play the first test. I think he was injured or something, and this is a 2-test series, so he's not got that benefit of kind of getting rid of that rust from the first series, getting used to it. He's straight in there, and in the first innings he scored a 57, so he got going, but then he got out, and now all of a sudden he's facing this 507 mammoth of a total against, as mentioned here, a world-class seam attack. You got Brett Lee, you got Mitchell Johnson, and you got Stuart Clark. You may forget Stuart Clark. He was, for the few years which he was in the Australian team, he was like a metronome. You had Glenn McGrath retired in 2006. Wonderful bowler. How are you going to replace someone like that? Stuart Clark did a phenomenal job. He really was at the peak of his powers. You also had Stuart MacGill, who was, you were hoping would be the replacement for Shane Warne, and he had a fantastic career. Admittedly, he bowled terrible in this innings, and Sangakkara really went after him. But he was there. He was there. Now, here's where it gets really good. So from the start, the tempo by really all of Sri Lanka, but Sangakkara led the tempo in, okay guys, we're going for this. We're not going to just knock it around, defend, and watch our wickets fall. We're going to take them on. So this innings really ramped up once 8 wickets fell. Sangakkara came in after the first wicket fell, I think 4 or 5 overs in. He had some support from Atapattu and Jayasuriya, but once the 8th wicket fell, he started to refuse singles when he was batting with Malinga, and his final 54 runs was scored of 44 balls. Test match, 4th innings in Australia. Stuart MacGill, by the way, no longer bowling. It's Lee, Johnson and Clark, and that's who he scores this off. It is outrageous. I mean, guys, if you know this innings, you know how it ends, and it's, I mean, I won't spoil it if you haven't seen it, because we'll see it right now anyway. But Jesus Christ, this is just something else of an innings. I cannot tell you how good it is. So let's go now, and let's just basically watch it. Let's watch it from the start. It's quite a long video, so stay with me. All right, let's go. So he's in. See, he's already in at 18 for 1. Brett Lee, bit of a loosen on the hips. You got to put it away. Video quality's a bit shit, so you can't kind of see the ball perfectly. But yeah, he's off the mark. Let's just move that down a little. Okay. That's a beautiful shot. Johnson hasn't got the ball up as much as he wanted, but it's above the hip. Beautiful swivel ball. And you notice as this innings gets going, his grace, his elegance, his fluency just increases. Okay, MacGill to come on now. Well, look at that. Look at that. Talk about a dream ball, right? My grandma would tonk that to the boundary. Courtney Walsh would tonk that to the boundary. That was always the problem with Stuart MacGill. He was always bowling the loose balls. Look at this! What are you bowling, my man? Do you want to win the Test match or what? Beautifully played though. But Stuart MacGill, when he was on song, he destroyed attacks. But his injuries cocked him up, and his constant bowling of full tosses. Okay, anyway, back. Yeah, Atapatu and him. Atapatu's playing his final Test innings as well, and he ends up getting an 80 here as well. So he's giving good support at the start. I mean, Australia. The best shot you can play. Good old Chinese cut.
Might just be facing a difficult afternoon and tomorrow.
Oh, that's the shot. Oh,
that's beautifully played.
It's gorgeous.
Wasn't quite a half volley that. He's just caressed it through the covers of ball.
I honestly wonder who I would have if I could do my all-time Test 11. And obviously I want a wicketkeeper batsman in there. And obviously the choice is either to go for Sangakkara or Gilchrist. Who would I pick? My heart says Sangakkara. But I think I'd pick Gilchrist purely because Sangakkara's best innings came when he gave up the gloves. That's guided. That's guided through the cordon. But I mean, he retired with an average of 58. Yeah, I'm just getting caught off. I'm trying to make a point, then I see a shot. Oh my god, it's beautiful shot. Beautiful shot. There isn't. So he's turned that into a half volley. He's moved his feet beautifully. I didn't need to there, but yeah, as you see, Stuart MacGill, he was getting taken to the cleaners. Sanga really got the best of him. Now, one thing I wish they did show on Test matches, I know it's not as important, was I wish there was like an overcount here somewhere, just so you could start seeing at the rate which they start scoring as the innings progresses. Beautiful. Beautiful. See it with the turn. That ball, if you notice, it's pitched quite a bit outside off stump. So he's not only came down the pitch, but he's came towards off. Beautiful.
That's a fine shot. He goes to 87. Kumar Sangakkara is on fire. 3 for 204.
Oh. He had a couple strokes of luck, but there was never a drop catch. It's I always kind of feel like a great innings is marred by like a drop catch or a decision which should have been out. But hey man, you gotta have a little luck, a few inside edges. There's one innings I remember against South Africa, and I believe it was in South Africa. Once. Stuart MacGill with gimmies. Yeah, the Test match against South Africa. I remember Dale Steyn was bowling. I think it was a wicket down. It was about 30 for 1. And it was, you got Sangakkara at the peak of his powers. You got Dale Steyn at the peak of his powers. I believe it was in the early 2010s. And oh man, it was a wonderful battle. Sangakkara was trying to take him on. He was constantly trying to take him on. It gave the mentality of Sangakkara as well, because you think of him as such an elegant batsman. He knows when to take the risks and when not. But he was never afraid of the world-class bowlers. Oh. That's a beautiful 100. It's not a beautiful ball, but it's a beautiful shot and it's a beautiful 100.
Well, he got the swat down the ground. He muted it beautifully.
15 fours.
Lots of hard work, 178 deliveries.
It's good strike rate. They had all the time in the world. The chase began virtually with all of day 4 left, so it was always going to be a win or loss. And he's striking at 56 when he gets to a century. That is a homer. Home run.
Well, it's a long boundary. You beat the man.
Oh,
What a lovely shot. Control.
he's so elegant, man. His balance is perfect. And you know what they say about lefties and the cover drive. They just look beautiful. Cheers, Stuart.
It's one of those full tosses, not driven this time, just mowed over the leg side.
Are you looking at the ball Stuart MacGill's throwing?
Who's a good cricketer. Now it's filled in again. What's the suggestion of Sanga?
Stuart Clark. That is gorgeous. Now this is where it gets interesting. So I'm going to pause it. I'm going to go back a bit. Okay, it's when the 8th wicket goes down. I think it was. This is where it gets good.
Ruth, who's a good cricketer.
So I'm just going to go back. Yeah. Okay, now he's refusing singles. From what I remember, he did not take one single before the 5th ball. So he was giving the man at the other end at this stage, who's Malinga, only one ball to face, maximum in an over. Obviously it didn't work every single time, but that was his mentality. And apart from that, just attack. So I mean, when you're in a situation like this, I mean, essentially Australia should have the upper hand. They know they can limit you. They can bowl in a certain way that you can't get the boundaries, can't get the singles. Yet he still plays like this. Look at that. He's moved away to the leg side to Stuart Clark to guide it through gully. Malinga before he had the gut. Oh.
Brilliant. 150 for Kumar Sangakkara. Memorable performance.
He said about this innings, he was in the zone. He goes, he was just in the zone. And if you listen to even the great players, they're asking, how often were you in the zone? And they say a handful of times in the career. They say maybe like 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Sangakkara, this was one of his in the zone innings. Look at that. By the way, he's coming on the back of so in the last 2 test matches which he played, admittedly against Bangladesh, he scored double centuries in both, so he's trying to go for 3 in a row.
That is an unbelievable shot. Second new ball, Stuart Clark overcovered.
I don't know if you heard that on commentary. Second new ball. This is against the new ball now. So this is an old ball. This is swinging. This is moving. Advantage bowlers. Look at that.
My word, that's good timing. That has raced to the fourth boundary.
This isn't brute force. This is artistry.
Just a sweet time.
This is majesty.
We've mentioned a few times he's got good hands, the way he gets through the ball. And it was the hands in the end that controlled that stroke. He was there a little bit sooner, and then he just waits on it and flicks it in the area he wants.
Pure timing and placement.
Back at that point. Now through down to third man for 4 more. Hill stays up.
With a paintbrush, man. With a paintbrush. The other one to say was a surgeon's scalpel. There's no bruteness in this. There we go. Oh, that is majestic, is what the commentator says on it. Yeah, it's spot on, man. This is obviously from back in 2007. Commentary quality has not degraded like it has today, and man, they're on point. It is a gorgeous shot.
That front foot's getting to the ball, but this is his other hitting option he's got. And the good hitters do have this ability to throw that front leg away, and it opens up all the offside.
He hits all of them, by the way. Look how pissed off he is.
Not a significant score, that.
Because that's the end of the over. He's trying to get a single. This is him refusing the singles. Some slow motion action.
Four, to go to 169. I said it was a significant score because okay, commentators might persuade him.
Brett Lee. What a shot. How often have you seen Brett Lee played like that?
100 here, this is such good touch. There he goes.
Bit inside edgy.
Backward square and inside edge. It's been a wonderful display of controlled hitting. 24 fours and 1 6. Good afternoon, Ian.
Afternoon, William. Yes,
All around the ground.
Display from Kumar Sangakkara. He's done everything you could ask for a batsman. He's looked very, very solid.
He gets it away.
What is that?
Out the road. He gets 4 more.
What a shot.
200 here. Kumar Sangakkara, he goes
You can see, you can tell the mindset. You can tell his mindset. He's going for it.
the leg side and got it over slip.
He's not intimidated. He's going for the victory here. What a shot.
Oh, what a shot.
He's made that.
Like a rocket.
There's nothing wrong with that ball.
It's a wonderful batting display here. Well, it's no 6 double hundreds at test level. It's the best side in the world. Backs to the wall stuff. And deliberately trying to thrash the ball.
There you go.
It's not bad, is it? What a glorious stroke.
You've got to remember, so Australia are on a 13-match winning streak. They're the best team in the world. They don't have a second place. South Africa was pretty good then, and they challenged them well. But I mean, don't get me wrong, there's only one undisputed king of cricket at this stage, and it's Australia. And they have a ferocious batting lineup. Bowling lineup and batting lineup. And this is how he's playing. Okay, get ready for it now.
But he's certainly doing it in cultured fashion.
He's given him out, and as you'll see, it's not out. Sangakkara said he felt anger at the decision, which I'm sure you're going to when, like, you're playing you're playing the innings of your life, though he played a few of them. And it's hit his left shoulder. Watch this. It's missed him by a mile. Shoulder, helmet. And it's one of those things, it happens in cricket. That's why I think the DRS being introduced is, with Snicko and the reviews, my bad, yeah, DRS. It's the best thing for the game because you avoid nonsense like this. The DRS is around, he wouldn't carry on. It hurts me, it kills me. It's one of those what ifs. Oh man, it hurts still to this day to know the innings ended like that. I hate it, man. It just, some things, you just, when you're watching a great innings, you just don't want it to end. Not for a stupid reason like that. So Rudy Kurtzen later obviously realised that he'd given the wrong decision. And Sangakkara forgave him, and he goes, "Look, man, I know you didn't do it in a bad way." And obviously, Kurtzen, there was no malice there. But fuck's sake, man, just you can tell the appeal isn't even that strong. The Australians weren't convinced. Anyway, so I'll end it there. I'm not gonna watch this. Hope you enjoyed this, guys. If you liked it, a comment in particular, man. Did you enjoy it? Like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. More the channel grows, more videos I can make, etc. as well. And finally, if you enjoyed this, I have a weekly roundup show where I can look at all the things which have happened in the week in cricket and coming up, along with features of the week where I just can dive into something from history and stuff. Basically, man, if you love cricket, if you enjoyed this video, you're going to adore it. Go to cricketuncensored.com. That's cricketuncensored.com. and you can go get that as well. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.